Hey everybody, welcome back to Why We Love Horror. It's been a fucking long time. I don't remember the last time I fucking did this, but I'm gonna keep it more consistent going forward. Wanted to bring it back in a big bad way. So I found a guy, you know. Some people think that he should be on the video store with us. I actually agree with that. He's a fucking crazy. But before we get to that, there's one thing that you must do. Buy our shit. Always buy our shit. We get $2. We need those $2, especially now. So make sure to be doing that. Let me bring them in here. We got. Why did that go away? What the fuck? There we go. We got Bill.
How's it going?
How you doing, man?
Oh, not bad, man. How about yourself?
Doing good. This is I think, I honestly think that I started seeing you on shows after I did the last one of these. So once I started seeing that you were into, especially horror, I wanted to
Yeah.
bring you on this when I decided to bring it back. I thought you were the perfect person to bring it back. What? Let's start it off easy. What got you into horror?
Probably just movies I probably shouldn't have been watching when I was a little kid that I watched when I was a little kid.
Hell yeah!
Uh, yeah, that's they didn't give a fuck about parental discretion in the 80s
No.
at all. So, and they're like, "What is that? Is that girl with tits out?" And they're just getting whatever. It's fine. It's like we'll watch Sleepaway Camp 2. You're not. It's not appropriate. It's okay. So, yeah. But yeah, so I watched a ton of it. I just loved it. Like as a kid growing up, it was just like that was it. I was like, oh, this makes sense to me. Yep, this is my stuff. So here we go. So yeah, so I studied diet of it as a child and as a teenager. So and then just the more obscure and the more bizarre, the better. So yeah,
I like that. Seems like you had the same type of childhood I had, which is doesn't fucking matter. Put it on, enjoy it. Fucking, I talked about it a bunch. I went into the theater to see Goodfellas at 3 years old. Fucking after that, it was just anything and everything they put in front of me. I fucking watched horror, action, whatever.
I went and saw Nightmare on Elm Street 3 when it came out in the theater.
Oh hell
I
yeah!
was way too young to be seeing that shit. But my mom was like, if that's what you want to see, well, fine, we'll go see Freddy Krueger. And I'm like, hell yeah. I fucking love Freddy Krueger. So,
Did
yeah.
you had you seen the first or second one, or was the third one your first one of Freddy Krueger? That
No,
you remember?
I went in order. So
Oh,
I
okay.
always saw them all. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I would say probably Nightmare on Elm Street's probably my favorite of all time.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I love Nightmare on Elm Street. First
yeah,
one is so fucking brilliant.
it is, and it's also it's the so two things freak me out in horror, and there's a reason
What's
why
up,
my
man?
two favorite horror movies are Nightmare on Elm Street and The Thing. Uh, Body horror
Yes.
and things out of your control completely. So
Yeah.
these two movies together make complete goddamn sense of like these scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. Especially with something like Freddy Krueger or something as visceral as not only is that thing you dream about real, it can kill you.
Yes.
And no one will believe you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what I think is so brilliant about the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise is it's not like he does come out in reality later on, but it's
Yeah.
just in your fucking dreams.
Yeah.
So you cannot escape while even fucking sleeping, and that is
And
terrifying.
he always turned your fear against you.
Yes.
And that would just fuck me right up. So, yeah. So there's a reason why I would think like absolutely that and the thing is just not only is it just like rewatching it over and over and like over the years and I'm like it's just a masterclass of like here's the suspension, here's the dread, here's the whole scene when they're outside and he's like I know I'm human and I know
Yeah.
all of you aren't that thing or else I would be dead. But someone is, and who do we trust? And then the head sprouting legs and trying to run away and just shit like that. Like, oh god, just freaks me out to this
Yeah,
day.
the fucking chest opening up,
Of all
fucking
the
coming
things,
out
though,
of
the
the
thing
end.
that freaks me out the most every time I watch it is when he has to cut the hand. Like just the shot of
Oh,
like, and I don't know
yeah.
why because he just looks so like he cut his hand open. Yeah,
And it has one of the greatest endings. of all
Yeah.
fucking time of them just sitting there and going,
And they're like, we're dead. It's
yeah,
fine.
we're just gonna sit here and see what happens.
So a few years ago for Christmas, fiance Knowles actually got me. They actually made a board game of the thing.
Oh yes, I have the board game.
I have it too, and it is like easily one of my favorite games. And like, it's very like if you've ever played like Dead of Winter, very much like the same kind of schematic. And I just it's so much fun because it's just like, how are we doing this? How am I going to fuck this up? You know, like, is this the thing? Like, we don't know. And I love that. Like, one of you definitely is. You got to start figuring it out. So it's such a fun game. But yeah, so that's a little dive into me as a person. So there you go.
I like that. What would be your favorite decade of horror? Would it be the 80s, or do you have another?
Absolutely, yeah. I know it's been called the last great decade for Western horror, and I truly believe it.
Yeah.
Now, horror has been fantastic post 2000.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's definitely more like I would say like prestige, but definitely more like high regarded, like high brow kind of horror, and I'm fine with that, and it's doing great. And they're churning out some absolute modern day classics, but
yes,
I mean, give me a Reanimator any day of the week.
Oh
like,
yeah.
It
seemed like in the 80s,
yeah,
it was just like every other week there was a fucking classic coming out.
Yeah,
and it was fucking amazing because the 80s is definitely my favorite.
Because they just cranked it out.
Yeah,
and it was funny because I like doing a little bit of research, like reading back up on the movie we picked to talk about. Real light on the zombies.
Yeah.
For the most part. I mean, you had your Return of the Evil Dead or the Return of the Living
Dead, yeah.
Or your Evil Dead. But for the most part, when zombie movies happened, they were really outside the box and kind of creative. Like Night of the Comet or the movie we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
Like where like they twisted a little bit. Other than that, it was like monsters, it was ghosts, it was, demons, or like whatever. And I love that kind of variety.
Yeah.
And then I feel like the 90s kind of killed all that. So
yeah, the 90s was definitely a decline for the most part. The late 90s started coming back with like Scream and shit like that. They started finding their way again, but for the most part, it definitely.
I am on record of being not a Scream fan, so that's fine.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, I understand why people like it. And the first time I saw it, I'm like, well, this is fine. But the thing I begrudge to it, or just that I hate about it, is like every horror became that.
Yeah,
and that's
true.
all everything was. It was meta commentary, and it just like it pretty much murdered the slasher genre. Especially when they went and ruined Michael Myers with Halloween Resurrections.
Yeah.
Because H2O made $1 bajillion, and I'm like, oh, this is not going to end well. And I lived long enough to not only see that be worse, and then it actually got worse when they rebooted it a little later. So I don't know how that was possible, but congratulations, Rob Zombie. Your Halloween 2 is garbage.
Oh yeah, the Rob Zombie Halloweens. That's the thing. I don't consider those Halloweens mainly because it's not Michael Myers, man.
It's not. It's just like
they explain it way too much. You don't need to know why the kid is a fucking psychopath. You don't know. No, you don't need to know why.
I'll appreciate that he tried to do a little something to it,
a little different.
To put his own. Yeah. I will grant that, but it's not interesting because there's not a one likable human being in that whole roster.
Yeah,
like everyone's awful or the worst version of humanity, except for Brad Dourif, who is just
Danny Trejo. He is good for like 5 seconds, and then he gets fucking murdered.
And he does, but that's a great scene because it really sets that up, and I appreciate that kind of thing. But Brad Dourif is acting his ass off, so give that guy an award for that because he's the only shining light in both of those films.
100%.
Oh God, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to talk about Rob Zombie.
So, let's just get into it. Sure. When did you see Dead Heat for the first time?
So, yes, Dead Heat. Look at, oh God, look, chef's kiss on that one. I just want to admire that for a minute.
It's amazing.
It really is. So, this is one of those movies that I think HBO bought for like $8, and because it was cheap, they ran it constantly back in the day. So it was just always playing. Always. So I probably saw this movie more than movies I actually truly love.
That's
And I'm not
amazing.
saying that this is bad, but I've
Yeah,
definitely
no.
seen this movie way too many times. So, and it's one of those things like people forgot it exists. No one fucking talks about it. So I'm like, you were like, hey, we were talking about a horror movie. I'm like, you know, it'd be a fun one to talk about. Someone in the 1980s, like, you know what? Zombies is fun, but what if we made it a buddy cop movie?
Yes, a buddy cop.
And I'm like, this is the best synthesis of the 1980s that I can ever imagine. So, and fun note, you can see there in the credits there at the bottom, this movie is written by Terry Black, brother of Shane.
Yes.
And I'm like, that makes so much goddamn sense.
Oh yeah, the consistent one-liners,
Oh
the
god,
action they have in it,
100%. Yeah, the absolute escalation of everything. Oh, he's dead, but no, that's good because you know he's a zombie. But oh, it's bad because he's going to disintegrate. And just like I love that there's no existential problem with I'm dead, but I'm still a cop, so I got to do my job.
Yeah.
We got to move this thing along. We only got 90 minutes. So like he does have a scene or two where he's like, oh my god, I don't think I handle this, but I'm still a cop, gotta go. So
Yeah,
you
they
killed
have
me,
that-
let's figure it out.
They have that scene with Joe Piscopo when they are firing at the two random zombies and they shoot him and he goes down and he just doesn't like give a shit. He just looks at it and goes, oh, okay, fuck it. He just picks up and starts shooting again. It's amazing.
Hey, you remember when guns used to kill people? As much as I'm whatever to Joe Piscopo, he does get some good ones in here. So I'll give him that. So and yeah. So yeah, I probably hadn't seen this movie in a good 20 years. But when I saw it a lot. And I was like, I think this could be a fun one to discuss. You could dissect this movie because it's
oh yeah.
Although it's fun watching it now when we get to the whole third subplot of it's basically rich people cheating death because they can afford to. And I'm like, wow, that held up considerably well.
100%.
Oh my god, wow. It is just like that was that's exactly where Reagan 80s kind of led to. It was just like the rich just hoarding everything. Like, well, fucking poor people are supposed to die, not us. And I'm like, yeah, all right, Vincent Price, you are not subtle with this metaphor.
No, not at all. And for people who haven't seen this, Treatwell and Joe Piscopo are two detectives who are trailing these jewelry robbers who turned out to be zombies. And Treat Williams ends up dying from one of them, and they bring him back as a zombie, and they just, as we said,
like
they don't
almost immediately too.
Yeah,
like, well, we got the machine. Fuck it, let's do it. Yeah. We don't know how this works.
And it just goes fucking insane. Once that hit, like it's your typical buddy cop movie for the first 15 minutes, and then that happens, and all hell fucking breaks loose.
Yes, and they're just like, here's basically the setup to establish our ticking clock, and then here you go. Now we're gonna have some fun with it. So we're gonna watch Treat Williams get shot 87 times in one go,
which I
like.
have that actually here.
Okay,
it is. Let's see. It's a GIF of it, which is fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
This is the type of shit we're talking about.
Oh yeah, this goes on.
Just fucking standing there firing at each other.
Just so fun. And that's not a loop. That's just what they're doing.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. It's no joke. It's just firing back and forth on each other.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my god.
Jesus, I could watch that. Oh man. Yeah, so it's a lot of that keeps happening.
Yes.
And jeez.
What do you think would be your favorite zombie out of all of them?
So it's gotta be the biker with the three faces for no good reason.
The three faces, yes.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't know why you look like that, but it looks awesome. So who cares? Because I feel like they were just like, we'd have something look a little gross. Because I think for the most part, zombies are just like Frankenstein rules. If we just zapped you back to life, go on your way. Yeah. So there isn't too many of the police. Yes, this thing. Oh my god, it looks like Randall Tex Cobb fell into like a fucking blender with like a bunch of just chemicals. It is horrific. I don't know why that guy has 3 faces.
No,
I don't care. I don't need a backstory on this.
No,
just shove him in there, and it's another one like you just can't kill him.
So, yeah, and this is the same.
Now, does he have like 19 nipples, or is that like hair?
I think it's maybe zits.
I hope so.
Like, I can't fucking tell what the hell that
I don't know.
It makes no sense.
I don't care. Bravo, makeup department.
Yes.
I don't care. So, yeah, as far as favorite zombie, that one definitely. It's the most aesthetically just real eye-catching. Because everything else, for the most part, is like, I got a little bit of discoloration, except for one scene which deserves its own conversation, which we will get. And I know you know the scene I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's the best scene in the film.
Yes. And this is also my favorite zombie. And it's also the zombie that, in a way, takes out Treat Williams because he ends up throwing his ass into the fucking
the broom.
I can't think of the fucking word they use.
It sucks oxygen out and he just dies.
Yeah.
So
and locks him in there.
Made up science shit.
Yeah. It beats the shit out of both of them for the most part.
It really does. It takes like 900 shots with like a fire extinguisher to the head to finally get that thing to fall down. Oh, jeez. And then the classic, this one fell a little flat for me, the Joe Piscopo line of where Treat Williams is like, what the hell is this thing? And Joe Piscopo is like, very ugly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, really? Okay. There's a better one there, but you didn't find it. It's fine.
One of my favorite lines doesn't even come from either one of them. It's when what's his face talking to Vincent Price at the end.
Darren McGavin.
Yes, and he goes, "Shut up, you old fart." Like he calls fucking Vincent Price an old fart for no fucking reason. A throwaway fucking line for no goddamn reason.
It's all delivery with the dad from A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
So absolutely, yeah.
What would be your favorite character?
I think general. Roger in general, because he's the character. I mean, it was the 80s. Everybody's kind of a stock character for the most part, just to be clear. Yeah. And Joe Piscopo is not like Joe Piscopo is Joe Piscopo. Yeah. Just to be clear.
Oh yeah.
He got paid to be Joe Piscopo. But Treat Williams is definitely the one carrying the whole movie because he has to, because it's all about him. And
we got the Treat Williams when he's almost full zombie at the point.
Yeah.
He's almost all fucked up.
Yeah, they did a great job of the subtle over a 12-hour period of just they really did.
Yeah.
Like it starts off a little bit of discoloration.
Yeah, under the eyes and shit.
A little bit under the eyes. And then all of a sudden the skin's real patchy. And then all of a sudden he gets fucking cooked. So kudos to them. I got to tell you, I feel like the budget went to the makeup and it was well spent.
Yeah. So the practical effects and the makeup in this are fucking perfect for 80s.
Absolutely.
They put it all into the fucking makeup and it shows completely. Yeah. You look at that and it looks fucking great for a movie that does not have a high budget at all.
No, it does not. And honestly, he's tied. I need a whole Vincent Price movie. Just this whole subplot of we worked out the kinks on a bunch of people who don't fucking matter. Yeah. But now you give me half your money and you live forever with no problems. Yeah. And I'm like, how did you land on that as a scheme? It's like the old was like Spider-Man. It was an old Spider-Man comic. I think it's Spider-Man. I can't remember. But I remember the panel. He's talking to like Sauron, who was like a pterodactyl guy, because comic books. And then he's like, I'm going to turn everybody into fucking dinosaurs. Spider-Man's like, you could have fucking cured cancer.
Yeah, that's true.
And then he's like, but the villain's got the greatest line, but I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs. And I feel like that's the Vincent Price movie. They're like, I don't want to cure the world's diseases. I want to make money.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's all. So yeah, and he's in it for like 8 minutes tops.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
But
very quick.
yeah, it's like a little bit of a video halfway through the movie to establish he was a person,
Yeah.
and then big old monologue. Oh man, I feel like there were some parts that got cut in here somewhere.
Oh, 100%.
And I feel like a lot of it had to be that. Because they're like, wow, you're really introducing this like with 15 minutes of this film left. God bless you. They're going whole hog. So.
Yeah, because it comes out to like an hour and 20 minutes. So I have a feeling.
I think the copy I had was like an hour 32 max with credits.
Yeah, with credits.
Yeah. So I was like, holy shit.
What would be your favorite scene?
There is no question. It is the reanimated meat in the Chinese food store.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the fucking pig.
The pig coming to life. All the fucking chicken wings start flapping around in the sauce tray. The ducks coming up out of the pot. And then a fucking cow with no head, no feet just starts fighting these guys.
Yes. Like it looks like it's about to fucking eat him.
It really does. Huge. And just the sound effect of the and then the liver that flies off the table for no good reason, and Treat Williams has to fight it off like a face hugger. And like this whole scene is fantastic.
Yes. It sets the tone for the rest of the fucking movie that that it's
first off, Treat Williams' name is Roger Mortis. If that isn't the setup of this is the kind of movie this is, buckle up. So no, absolutely, this whole scene, and it's the fact that like, all right, it's a tie. A very close second is the Randy scene where she starts decomposing like minutes.
Yeah, with like it's just fucking there. She starts talking, saying sorry, and then boom.
And then all of a sudden it starts melting off. Yeah. And there's like the slightest, tiniest bit of like some kind of quick green screen kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's so like fast, but everything else, I'm like, that is a really fantastic practical effect.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I mean that's a scene. It's like it's genuinely kind of creepy to watch. Like it's just unsettling. It's just
oh yeah, with her just slowly melting off her chin. It goes down.
Her arm falls off. All of a sudden she's a husk. Yeah. It was like, holy fucking Jesus. Like if there was just a little bit more of stuff like that, I used to be like a 20-star movie.
Oh, 100%.
But I could tell they were like, we don't have the money. Speed it up.
And it's like during that portion too, it cuts to him in the car driving to go confront them about it. And then he never he has that moment where he kind of thinks about what happened because it's the same scene that fucking Doug also is dead as well.
Yeah.
And then he's just going, all right, fuck it. I'm done with that shit. Let's finish these fuckers off.
Yeah. I love that. Like, there are quick moments of existential problems, but for the most part, it's like, I gotta go. Because I feel like if this was like today, if this was like Pattinson's Batman, this would be an hour of the plot of him dealing with that he's dead. And how do I come to grips with this? And what does that mean for me as a person? And Treat Williams is like, shit. All right, let's go. No time to be sad. We got a murder to solve. Mine.
It brings me back to the first real scene of when the guns are going off and he goes, I'll cover you. And it's just him basically standing there firing at them because he knows he can't fucking die. Yeah. And he even turns around and they shoot him in the back and he's just walking out.
And he doesn't even run out. Back a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Although, dumb joke, but I don't know why. I do like it. It's like where he jumps up out of the jacuzzi to kill the guy. He shoves the radio in. Yeah. Joe Piscopo's like, you were in there for like 5 straight minutes. He's like, Treat Williams was like, oh, yeah, I was. And then Joe Piscopo was like, can you teach my girlfriend how to do that? It's so stupid, but it makes me laugh. So, oh, God. So, yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I asked this on every movie that we talk about here. So how would Ash Williams handle a zombie, Roger?
Oh, first off, Listen to me, Hollywood. This movie writes itself. Just do it. You fucking made Morbius. You owe us one. Give me Ash and Roger, and fuck it, I don't care what they do.
Yeah, even if they're teaming up together,
they would totally do that. That is like, especially like as he's slowly progressed to like more zombie-ish, because he's a lot more sassy the deader he gets.
Yes.
So I need sassy zombie Roger hanging out with like Ash. Those guys would be a quick factory. Oh, yeah. And they would just kill everything.
Yeah. If Ash can't do it, fucking Roger can do it. Roger could stand in front of Ash and take all the fucking hits, and then Ash
can just like take all the credit, because that's exactly what he would do. 100% that, yes. So
I definitely want to fucking see that movie. The movie would be amazing.
Come on, you made fucking Batman be Superman. I still haven't forgiven your asses for that. Give me this one. I earned it.
Yeah. So, is there anything that we haven't brought up that you'd like to mention? Especially off your experience of taking 20 years to rewatch this.
Yeah. I gotta admit, aged considerably well, all things considered. Especially with the 80s, I'm like, where's the inappropriate gay show?
The unwoke button.
I'm like, I understand it's a different time, but it's refreshing to like that never happens.
Yeah.
Especially in a scene where they're in a Chinese food store, and I feel like they were going to softball some kind of racist horse shit, and then they just don't.
No.
And I'm like, all right, so that was a nice, fun surprise for me. Yeah. And then the fact that like the whole third subplot aged better than anything else. Like, I'm like, oh my God, this could be today. This could be a whole fucking, this could be a Hulu series. Oh, and I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, Jesus.
It 100% sums up what's going on.
So well. So we have billionaires, supervillains going to space for fucks and giggles. You don't think they would fuck around with this kind of technology? Are you kidding me? Dude, they'd be all over this. Elon Musk would put his dick in it. Every day. Every day. You don't think that fuck wants to try to live forever and then just hoard everything and then just become Lex Luthor? Get it? Holy shit. Yeah, that blows my mind. Yeah. So
and to know that Vincent Price is delivering it. It's fucking that voice, man.
Pure Vincent Price.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so whatever they paid, it was worth it.
Yes.
Because he immediately classes up the joint.
Oh, 100%. Him coming walking out of the, when you think that when you see him for the first like couple seconds in the video, you go, is that going to be it for him? Is that all given
when
for
you
him?
Put his name in the credits?
Yeah, like what the fuck? And then he just shows up at the end and fucking steals the last third of the movie.
Yeah.
Only way he could.
Oh, rest in peace. Jesus Christ.
Now, if you had to pick a movie, what would you pick to go with this for a double feature?
So if we're talking like off the wall 80s concept movies like this, I could think of two.
Okay.
I would always recommend Neon Maniacs because I feel like that's a crazy ass movie that no one talks about.
Yeah.
I have talked about it at plenty with Anthony Tisdale on Unearthed with Bill Cariola. That's on Feature Presentations. That video is out there.
Yeah, go check that out.
Also, Night of the Comet is another good one. It's a great concept zombie movie of not quite zombies, close enough. And it's fucking weird and it's enjoyable. So, like, if you're going for something in that vein, either one of those two would be great. Personally,
I like those. Yeah.
If you want a similar kind of skewering of the zombie genre, I'm trying to think. Or just like a weird mismatch of like styles where like, oh, this is weird to be a horror movie also. I think Cabin in the Woods is probably a good one to go along with this.
Yeah.
If not, if you want just like it's horror, but it's goofy, but it's great at the same time. Was it Paul Yama was like, he messaged me, it's like, hey, there's a movie called X Cross. You got to watch this.
Oh.
I'm like, I've never heard of it. He's like, if there's ever a movie that was like, this is made for you. I'm like, fair enough. I'll give it a shot. And I gave it a shot, and I'm like, holy shit, this movie is really made for me. Because this is like a Japanese horror movie, but at no point should any of this be serious. Because this is about a death cult that chops off women's legs. And it's just bonkers. And then I love in the middle of this movie, there is a subplot because they didn't have enough murder in their murder plot. They had to have a second murder plot completely unconnected to that plot with a woman with giant scissors. They get more comically, ridiculously bigger as the movie progresses. 20 stars.
Yes.
So I feel like comedy-wise, those two would go together. Weirdo 80s stuff like that. I would probably lean more towards Night of the Comet just to stick with the zombie kind of theme.
Yeah.
Because Neon Maniacs is great because it's like, hey, you like killers? What if there was a fucking team? Like the Village People of Murderers. Because we got everyone. You know why? Fuck you. That's why. Watch our movie. So, yeah. I think any one of those would go great with this. So. Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that. The one I would choose that is kind of the same vein of Neon Maniacs and kind of goes on the more ridiculous side is Street Trash. Have you ever seen that?
Not in a long time.
That fucking movie is batshit insane.
Jesus.
I think it works with the second half of that.
I think because that's like recorded on like video, right?
Yes.
It is super dirt cheap.
Oh, 100.
Okay, I'm just making sure I'm thinking of the right thing.
No, you're thinking of the right movie.
Okay, yeah.
It's all takes place
it is
in
the dirtiest thing. You like. I was 90% sure that was someone's snuff film.
It's not like it. It's insane.
It really is. Woo! Man, I'm waiting for Nick Cage to save somebody at the end of it. That's all really that was. It's like, holy shit. Oh, man, I forgot about Street Trash. Jesus. I'm add that to my fucking queue as soon as I find my phone.
Oh, yeah.
Street Trash. Got to rewatch that one. There we go.
So people watching this, go check out Neon Maniacs, Street Trash, Night of the Comet. Even if you've seen it and want to rewatch it, Cabin in the Woods is fucking always amazing. That's always
X-Cross.
X-Cross.
And Dead Heat. Both on Tubi for free.
Oh, yes. Tubi is such a great fucking platform for 80s horror. They have much fucking insane shit on there.
Because now things like, oh, you like that? I'm like, yeah, I do. And they're like, here's some shit. And I'm like, please give me the shit. Yeah. They're like, you like Chopping Mall? I'm like, you fucking ain't right. I like Chopping Mall. Why would I not like Chopping Mall? Of course I do. They're like, do you want to watch Chopping Mall? I'm like, yeah, probably, yeah. What if there was something else in there? I'm like, oh, White Force. I was like, fucking
yes. White Force is so fucking good.
Oh, what a bonkers film. I was like, oh, I'm not going anywhere else. The commercials are worth it if they give me this. So it's fine.
Bill, I want to thank you for coming on and coming back, like being the first episode back. Like knowing that you love this insane shit that the majority of this community probably has not watched or probably would never watch it, mind you. I just love that we have this in common. I definitely want you back to talk about some more crazy shit later on.
I am the person that made Tony Hill watch Microwave Massacre. He still has not forgiven. He has not forgiven me for that one. Ever. For good cause.
Is there anything you would like to plug for yourself?
Obviously, yes. So Unearthed, I will try to get that one back up and running because I still have a few episodes in the can. I still want to release the Caleb Boatman episode where I made him watch. I made him watch Tammy and the T-Rex, and I'm pretty sure he didn't totally hate it. So that's fun. I also really want to get because it's actually coming up on our 2-year anniversary, so I should really crank out Psycho Gorman episode for that, because
shit,
that is
yeah.
definitely. So every year I want to do like, what is just the pinnacle of movies that sum me up as a person. And last year it was Turbo Kid,
Hell
because
yeah.
that movie is just the raddest thing I've ever seen. I had video Drew on. She's like, I've never even heard of this movie. I'm like, what do you think? She's like, this is the best shit I've seen in years. I'm like, you're fucking ain't right, it is. Movie's amazing. So if you ever wonder, like, what is Bill like? Some crazy shit. So it's fun. Yeah, other than that, I'll be kicking around all the families. It's usually fun for me. So yeah.
Love it.
That's about it.
Thank you, Bill, again for coming on. Thank you, anybody that watches this. The 3 people that are currently watching, thank you for sticking around. This is going to be more consistent. The reason this episode 12.5 is because the 13th episode, I'll do something special. I'm going to try to get Nazario, because I've been trying to get fucking Nazario on this shit forever. But thank you again for watching. Bill, thank you for joining. We will see you probably next week. Take it easy, everybody.